Whoa! What can I say? What can I say? So I think we've got some kind of countdown happening on the screen, which is bizarre. How is everyone? How is everyone? If I look down here, it's because I'm kind of trying to keep up with the chat. Because for some reason, this down here is not in line with what's up here. It's nearly there. How is everyone? How is everyone? So yes, eyes down here, looking at the chat. Eyes up there, talking to you guys. I am early. I found it's probably... I probably made a mistake, because usually you're supposed to turn up late to a party, not early to a party, aren't you? But it's my party, so I can open up whenever I like. So how is everyone? This is the first live on this channel, and depending on how this one goes, it could be the last. So, I'm good, Zach, I'm good. I actually got chat up there as well, so that might actually be pointless. I'll see if they kind of run as well together. Hello, April, Dope, hey, Tara, okay. Now, what I don't want to do is spend an hour reading through loads and loads of names, because that would possibly be the worst live ever. So what did Harsh do on his live? Well, he just basically reeled off a load of names. So, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk? The chat seems to have stopped, and now it's back running again. Oh, just to let you know, there is a slow mode on chat. Hello, Jennifer. Which is 120 seconds, 2 minutes. That is just to try and slow things down, because I'm not that quick. Believe it or not, it's now, what is the time? 11:45 p.m. here, and my brain's running at about 30% capacity. Rocket is not here, because if Rocket was... I don't mean he's not here. He's here, he's just in another part of the house, because if I was here and he was here, he would potentially destroy the entire place. Sound, at my end, it seems to be alright. I know there was an issue on JDTC's live when I done him. There was some feedback on the mic. Is the sound okay? Because if not, I can ditch this mic, and I do have another one. So let me know if there was an issue with the sound, or we can change that. Hello, Barbie. Hello, Wilted. Hello, Dixie. And, yeah, he's the star of the show. No, he's a dog. He's got more wrinkles than me, and he's won. So, what are we going to talk about? What I want to do with this live is not what I see happening in a lot of other lives. I want this live to be around you guys and what you guys want to talk about. Hello, Brianna. I know what I've got to do, Brianna. I'm just going to put this as... Brianna is a moderator on the channel. I just needed to catch her in a live to do that. It might be that we add some more. We'll see how things go. And we might have to add some more, because we know that we're not the most popular person on the on the platform. But there you go. Fuck off. So, what are we going to talk about? Come on, let's have some questions. Get some questions. 2 female Frenchies. Guess what? I will say this before we do anything. So tomorrow we are actually going to collect a kitten that Rocket doesn't know about. He seems to like cats. I don't mean wants to eat them. He seems to like them. He doesn't really like other dogs. So we thought about getting him a friend, another dog. But look, ultimately we opted for a cat. So I'll bring the new kitten onto the screen. That's not it. It's not invisible. I'll bring that onto the screen perhaps tomorrow. No, probably not tomorrow. Saturday, I would imagine. So good. Yeah, it looks good. The lighting behind, I don't really know what's going on. This isn't really how I will, when we start doing lives more, I don't think I'm going to be having this setup. This is more like a see how it goes. I got a new kitten show up at my house. I remember seeing, Dixie, I remember seeing you say about that. Hi, GMA. So, what do we got? What do we got? How fucked up are they? Any more news from Tiny? Tim has not messaged me back. He did warn if I was to say anything, he would likely go quiet. But at the end of the day, he didn't really have anything interesting to say. He's very, very into Don. He loves Don. In fact, he's one step away from talking about Don like you would talk about your significant other. But there you go. I'm not questioning that. Each to their own. But he does seem to really like Don. He did tell me that he believed that Don could be a writer. He could be a writer. Could you imagine that? Don Wells, the writer. I know Don Wells' mum was a writer. He wrote a book. But no, he's definitely not going to be writing anything. He couldn't even write "Love Dad" at the end of his letter. So come on, let's chat. Obviously, the three main cases that we touch on this channel, as you know, are Summer Wells. Obviously, we've got Michael Vaughan, and we have Dylan Rounds. The Dylan Rounds case, I must admit, has made me all the more frustrated with the Summer Wells case, particularly as we've seen how the FBI have managed to push that so far forward and so quickly. And you just think that if Summer would have had the FBI integration into this right at the beginning, we wouldn't be staring at 4 and 6 hour lives wondering what's being said by that strange lady who makes loads of noises out of her mouth. I'm not sure. She seems to be trying to contact another sort of a dimension. But perhaps we wouldn't have that if we'd have had the FBI. But there you go. Some people get FBI, we get JSB. There we go. We must have been real bad in our previous life. So let's have a look. What do we got? What do we got? Come on. Someone is timing out, probably accidentally. That went. What do you think happened to Michael Vaughan? Ooh, you're going to get us all shot over here, aren't you? What do I think happened to Michael Vaughan? Honestly, there's two ways of looking at this, isn't there? Either Michael was abducted, and it could have been a possibility, even though I believe it would be a rarity. I can't see Michael being abducted by someone who's never done it before, because we would normally, if this was someone's first time, we would likely already have Michael back. I don't believe that a person would have been this good at it if he hadn't done it or she hadn't done it before. I don't want to be sexist. Women can abduct too. Equality. We're all about equality. But look, the thing what I say is, if he was abducted, then I believe that he was abducted by someone who was more skilled at it, which means that they likely had scoped the area out. They knew that an opportunity would arise. Because look, there's too many coincidences in this, isn't there? You think, what? Someone just happened to be there at the exact time when no one would see. Michael would be there, the two would meet, and he would go. And, you know, it can happen, but the odds are way against. But if he was, then it was because he was not being watched. And that period of time that we have where he was not in that house was a lot longer than what we're led to believe. If he wasn't, what happened? Now, I can't see either way. I must admit that I think there's something a lot more nefarious going on here. Was Michael away? Did he get out of the house? And when the neighbour walked him back to the house, did Michael then go in? And did he get struck by Tyler? And did something happen? completely by accident. I'm not saying that Tyler lashed out purposefully, but did he smack Michael and Michael hit his head and the rest is history. We look at the Arthur Lavinia Hughes case in the UK, and what brought that to an escalation was an altercation between Arthur and the stepmom, Beech, in the hallway, where she's obviously hit him and he's hit his head on the floor, which was a concrete floor, and the rest is history. And then we learn about this, what is in the background, but ultimately that day was being struck and he'd struck the floor. So, yeah, what do we got? Look up John Charles Harshreality. He's a billionaire living in my own hometown. I have heard that, yeah. Billionaires. You see, with the Summer Wells case, you know, I struggle with it because... I'll tell you why I struggle with it. With this, with people like that being involved, there's easier things to do. There's easier ways to get what they need. And this complex system round Summer, all of these people, they just seem to be a liability. It just seems to be a complete liability. Would anybody who knows this lot want to interact with them? I'm leaning heavily towards an accident. I'm heading towards either something happened at the waterhole or something happened at the home. That's kind of where I'm leaning, that I think something could have happened at home and potentially other people got involved. But I think a lot more is going to come out. A lot more is going to come out on the Summer Wells case soon. You know, I will tell you about the Jose Roman. So someone contacted me about Jose Roman, and look, what I'm saying to people now is, if you can disprove this, that is a welcome thing. We don't care if you come to us and say, look, it didn't happen. So the likes of Justice for All, if you can get a receipt and say, look, he definitely wasn't there, we don't mind about that, because we want to try and disprove it. Because it's obviously not going to be great if we can prove that he was actually there. But this is what happened. So somebody from around that area was in a hotel. They're a business owner in Alaska, and they happened to be at a hotel in Alaska. And this is right back at the start. So let's remember that at the time, Jose wasn't known. So this isn't like this person would have known who this was. And to be fair, they didn't really know who Summer was at the time. Hi, Brenda. So this is just a situation where someone is in a hotel and there is a guy who later they think, hold on, that looks like Jose. And the little girl was wearing a red dress and she appeared to be wearing a badly fitted wig. And that's what stuck out. The fact that the child looked to be quite undernourished, they looked quite scruffy, and they had a wig that was poorly fitting. And they had a dog with them. And this is what struck up a conversation. Apparently they had a dog, the lady had a dog with her, and the little girl wanted to talk to the dog. But the guy was quite abrasive, and he swiftly told the girl to keep away and, stay away from the woman, yada, 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 and the rest is history, and that was forgotten about. And then it wasn't until later on that, yes, they then see who Jose Roman is, and then they start themselves looking into Jose Roman and whether he has any connections to Alaska. And there are apparently several things that connect Jose Roman to Alaska, specifically in the fishing trade. And this is what we're trying to do, just to disprove it. So look, let's have a look at these questions. But I will come back to that. There is more to that, but for various reasons, that's about as much as I can talk. So someone said, if I could interview one person, who would it be? Well, in the Summer Wells case, Candace. I think anybody who says anyone other than Candace is a fool. In the Summer Wells case, it's got to be Candace. In the Michael Vaughan case, it's got to be Tyler. And in the Dylan Rounds case, you're looking at Brenner and Chase. Get them two in a room with me, and they're in them three cases. They are your four prime suspects, and I don't think you need to speak to anybody else because these are the people. You know, in the Summer Wells case, guys, at the end of the day, the buck stops with Candace. It does stop with Candace. She is the person who, by her own admission, stated that she was here with Summer on that day. You know, Don, she said Don was at work. There's no, you know, would Grandis have thrown Don under the bus if that was any different? If Don would have done something that day, I think as soon as he was put away, Grandis would have at least been like, see you later. But that's just my thought. But where are we? What's that? I wouldn't want to interview Candace. She cannot tell the truth. No, but you can. You're right. She probably wouldn't tell the truth, but you would know what to ask her, and you know when she's lying. You know, there's ways and means to talk to someone and understand whether they're being disingenuous or not. And yeah. Why, TF, haven't they interrogated her or try a little good? This is like what I said at the beginning of this live. It's very annoying to see how the FBI alters what happens in a case, and I think it's very sad and very frustrating that I think it's just the sheer volume of these cases that the FBI just can't, they don't have the manpower. And I think it hit us with Summer because we are on this channel and we are looking at Summer Wells's case. She has become like, we're all her surrogate parents. You know, she's got more parents than any other 6-year-old child on the planet. But, you know, as much as she is important to us, we have to understand that to the FBI, to law enforcement worldwide, she is sadly a number. She is the statistic. And we can't force FBI into seeing her any more than a statistic because they can't do that. They just cannot. Hello, Caught Alive. Hello from Hawaii. Thank you, beautiful sunflower. And that's the problem. It's like us expecting other people to love our children when they're in a restaurant making a load of noise or fart noises while the other family are trying to eat their food. The other family aren't going to love your children like you do. Or if you're on an aeroplane doing a 12-hour flight and someone else's child is screaming bloody murder throughout the whole flight. You know, FBI are needed and they can do things what you don't see law enforcement do. But they just don't have the manpower. And that's, you know, maybe all countries should put a little less money into nuclear weaponry and weaponry as in general and sink it more into the things that are to protect our future going forward. That's my mindset on it. Jim Terry, I cannot stand this guy. Seems like a personal vendetta with Dylan's mum. See, this is a strange one with regards to this PI because it's a very strange behaviour to see in a PI. You wouldn't normally see them behave that way. So something's gone amiss. Something's gone wrong there. Whether he has said something that brings Candace, perhaps, I don't know, perhaps questions her, or let's not forget there has been accusations that perhaps she was in debt herself. She hadn't been around in Dylan's life for a long period of time, even though they've kind of tried to dumb that down a little bit and said that the children were going between the parents. You know, we don't know. You know, I'm not going to slate Jim Terry. I'm not, because the guy, we don't know. We don't know why he reacted the way he did, and it would be unfair without the proper knowledge to crucify a guy who, let's look at it this way, the guy is a private investigator, so he can potentially help children. Thank you, Aunt B. 8,000 subscribers, you're right. What has been your hardest, most frustrating case, Harsh? there are so many, guys. There's some that I just don't bring onto this channel because they're just really upsetting. I did make a brief reference to one a while ago about a female who had basically decapitated her son and the family pet, and you know, what can you say to things like that? But I think one of the most frustrating is definitely Maddie McCann. And to be fair, the Summer Wells case is pretty much on par with it because of the intricacies of it, the dynamic of it. Yes, the parents are different. Hello, Mystic Rogue. Hello, anybody that I've missed. I will go back over the questions as well, and I will answer the questions over the next few days in the comments down below as well. Don't worry. But yeah, that case blows my mind. Now, for those people, thank you, Holly. For those of you who are not from the UK, you'll probably not be aware of this. Some of you will, some of you won't. But the UK taxpayer has been paying into the Madeleine McCann case, if you like, at a rate of £150,000 a month, and we're into the millions. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Thank you, you know who. But £150,000 a month. Why did Summer's friend leave early the night before she went missing? Her friend was supposed to spend the night. Laura, if you email me, Laura, I will answer you that question. It is something that I don't want to talk about on the channel. The downside is I think that some things are they do push us a little bit too far. There was something that was said it would happen, that had happened, and yeah, it brings other people into it. So don't worry. Just make sure if you email me, I will go through that with you. My email is in every single video description. But if it's about the minors, or if there's anything, you know, the real young ones, you know, don't. I won't cover them on here, but I will certainly email people if they ask me any questions about them, because I do have some information. Yes, so anybody, that goes to anybody. If you've got any questions about kind of the real young ones, just email me, and yeah, I'll get that to you. Right, so did you finally receive my email? I'm Diamond for me. With regards to emails, I get about no drama, no tea. Are you going already? Yeah, it's I get quite a few. So if you put like either your name in the subject field or what it's actually about, Elijah Lewis. Someone keeps saying Elijah Lewis. That name rings a bell, but I don't know where I've heard of Elijah Lewis. Is that connected to the Dylan Rounds case? Something makes me think that that's something to do with that. Thank you, Tina. Most definitely is very respectful. I try to be. I'm not always respectful, I must admit. The photo of Summer with both girls dressed almost the same. Summer looks as if she was hurt or beaten. If they were drugging them, then the children may not have been aware. Yeah, again, email me, and I can go over anything like that. Hello everyone. Hello everybody now coming in. Do you know if there is anything new with the West brothers? I cannot find. There isn't. I've been looking myself, Addy, and there isn't anything that I can find. There's obviously a few cases flittering around in the background. We've got a few. I try. The downside is because of the Summer case, because of Michael Vaughan, and because of Dylan Rounds now, I kind of, thank you very much, Aunt B. I kind of don't want to do too many because you then get watered down, and I'd rather be able to cover some quickly and in a decent manner than go across loads of them and, well, just look like an idiot. Hello, Killer Looks. I hope you and the family are well. In my comments are here, and then Gray saying, wait 1 minute before next comment. Yeah, for those of you who are a bit later coming in, I've put a 120-second, 2-minute delay on the comments purely to try and slow it down so I can get, because I want to interact with you guys as much as physically possible and answer some questions. You think Andy and Jodie Sue are gonna do a pay-per-view event anytime soon? Like Celebrity Deathmatch? I'd like to see that, where they've got like put themselves through chippers and stuff like that. I cannot believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. How can it be right for a guy who a few days ago was accused of being the drug dealer to the Wells, basically drug dealing? And let's not forget that during the interview with Chris McDonough and Hunter and Co, he basically said that there was a call from someone, Andy, Andrew, someone with an A, who was thank you, Dixie, who was the drug dealer of Candace. And now, later on, you should think to yourself, well, hold on, he's basically, even back then, he's admitted that was Andrew, or Andy, that was the weirdo walking about. Weren't he? We see all these things on lives and on YouTube, and we tend to think that they are all real friendly and all together, when in reality, I don't think that's the case. I think that they had their own little groups of people, but Hunter, during that interview, he stated that the weirdo on the phone was Andy or Andrew, and the drug dealer had messaged, and now people are subscribing to his channel and they're telling him to get his cash up on the screen. Came to support your channel after I saw Lana blasted you as well. Lana can go fuck herself, is what she can do. I have nothing good to say about her whatsoever. Nothing good to say about her whatsoever. And that's it. And that is all I've got to say about her. What are some of the things you do not to get burnt out, and what I have? The thing about me, I have always survived on about 4 hours sleep, even when I was at school, and I just seem to have an endless supply of energy. I think one day I will literally just have no energy. I'll wake up one day and it's gone. But we do have other channels. I have a channel that is to do with my children, which we've had for quite a few years. That is our primary channel, if you like. I know a few other people who have got large YouTube channels. But to not get burnt out, I just don't. This is what I do. Went missing from the night before, Harmony Montgomery. That might have been where I heard his name. Elijah Lewis. It's not something that I've looked into, I'm not going to lie. The name rung a bell. Harmony Montgomery, another heartbreaking case. That should have been solved a long, long time ago. And this is again where you're seeing the judge. She was just a statistic. Let's just tick the docket, say it's been done, and we're gone. We're out of here, and she's handed into the lion's den. Lena, again, a sad case. As far as I'm aware, that's just gone cold. Just gone cold. We talk about these cases, and it's the same way, and it is. All of these cases, Oakley Carlson. How did that happen? And again, we're seeing in the Oakley Carlson case, her father being ex-law enforcement, He just decides, well, I'm not going to say anything, you don't say anything, and then there's nothing going to come of it. I followed someone's case, so sad. I know about CPS in Hawkins County. A lot of people. See, this is what worries me with CPS. Now, I look at it like this, and the thing is this trafficking industry it's a machine. It's a monster. The $150 billion monster. Now, these kind of businesses, they have the power to infiltrate law enforcement. They have the power to infiltrate CPS. I was watching something a little while ago, and it was actually on about CPS abductions. So these were literally CPS abducting people, abducting children. And you think, so CPS, who are supposed to be protecting children, they are unlawfully abducting children. CPS, like Dope just said, they need a complete do-over. They absolutely just need to be done over. Did you really want to be invited to a party at Summer Wells' place? No. That's my dry humour. That's my British dry humour, but certainly not. Did you respond to my email asking for You did respond to my email asking for assistance. I sent the video of a timeline. I will have a look and see if I have got that. Hi, coming in late. How are you, Harsh? I'm good, Gypsy. I'm good. I am good. It's been a busy week. We've got summer holidays coming up soon, so it's been manic, and I've got a lot of things going on in the background. As you know, I've mentioned some stuff about the gym. I'm not going to bore you with that now. New sub here. Hi, Miffy Moments. I love that name. For those of you who are late coming in, when I'm looking down here, I'm just making sure that the chat's matching up. Look at Megan Walsh case, Harsh. I will. Hello. Harsh, why don't the police release a photo of the boy in the... Oh, I missed that. Boy in the suitcase. I was looking at this earlier. That, I put something on Twitter. I just done something. That case, to me, someone knows something. Someone knows something about that case. Yep, I believe the whole lot are corrupt. I lost my only child on May 1st. I'm so sorry. Cannot believe Kenneth and Don Wells' response to losing Summer. See, that's been the biggest worry. Thank you so much, Gracie. Guys, and just as a side note, you do not have to donate at all. Where was I? Lost my train of thought. Prompt me. See, this is what I mean. Now my brain's gone to sleep. That'll come to me in a minute. I'll be saying something else and I'll just drop in my head. I'll see if I can reverse up a bit. Where was I? Oh yeah, was it about that? I can't remember. I'm a nutcase. Might have been the suitcase one. I know that. Thank you very much for becoming a member. You don't have to donate. You know who? Nobody has to. All the money that is donated is just going to go into the playground fund. Obviously, we're doing this playground up for the school. That's going to be done over the summer holidays. So that's where any money will go to. But yeah, where was I? Let's get back into the the suitcase. Not enough. Someone else had mentioned something, and that it was something that I was thinking about. I'll come back. Funny, I do that all the time. I will. I'll be saying something. It just goes. Where are we? I do believe that JSB didn't mean to release exactly what she said. She wanted to stand in front of this, but this puts her right in the middle. To me, Jodie Sue is just someone who is quite bitter about a lot of things, and she's utilised this platform to get centre stage so she can let out a lot of frustrations. And I think, thank you, Eve. Take my money and like it. um, yeah, so, yeah. She's put herself smack bang in the middle of it. Did you notice Don B interview with Dobbs? Dobbs said JSB did rituals, but Don didn't linger on the subject. Yeah, I think Don could have done a little bit more with that. I think he's good. He doesn't have many people on his channel, does he? I don't think he's. I need the iPhone link to become a member. I don't know it. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't even know how to do it. I'll see if I can find it. Someone else might know how to do it. I usually just go through like desktop version. So if you're like on iPhone, you can go through Safari and go to desktop version. But where was we? Yeah, Don B. He doesn't have a lot of people on his show, so he could have just grabbed that a little bit better, I think. But he'll get better. That's probably why I won't have anyone on there, because I'd just talk him to death. You're the only creator who is not exploiting these missing children for financial gains. I just don't need to. What's that? Hi, Harsh, finally alive, great. Hairs to the playground. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The boy with a thorn in his side. Wasn't that a book? The boy with a thorn in his side. I'm sure that's either a book or a film. Harsh, have you noticed that Candace has never said she thinks Summer was abducted? Candace hasn't said anything, because I think Candace ultimately knows what happened. And I think she's trying to detach herself from it. A lot of this has been, with Candace, has been about trying to occupy herself, I think. When Dom went away, I think it really did hit home. She was on her own, and she utilised Benny and Ernie at different times, and she just wanted to just forget about it. And I think that's what she wanted to do. And we saw in certain lives when she was literally had to be prompted that she had children. Don't forget Summer. And she would then, I miss Summer, that. Do you know what I mean? And I think she just tried to push it to the back of her mind. Where are we? I've been subscribed. First time catching a live. That's because this is the first live we've done. We don't usually do lives. As people will know, I'm not one for doing lives. Not really a live person. Interestingly, Dobbs said the same thing about DW being distraught on the 14th. I did catch that, Phil. He did indeed say that he had caught Don looking very sombre, as if staring off into the distance. As far as I'm aware, there might come a time when Jackie Dobbs and myself can have a conversation. He did mention it once before, and I didn't go any further with it because I didn't really want to. But there is a chance that he could come to have a chat. But we'll see. I'll see if it's worth it. Any new information about Jose and Summer's part together? I did touch on that, April. At the moment, what I'm really waiting to do is to have somebody come back and say that it couldn't have been him. No one has done yet. But there could be more to that. But when something comes out, I will tell you 100% what's going on with it. Has anyone been decided about the charges against Don and the stepsisters? Does anyone know? As far as I'm aware, that he's not going to be facing charges. There's been no mention of it. As far as the information that I have, the likelihood is Don could be out in about 7 weeks' time. Around that sort of 6-7 weeks time, and then he will be doing a month of rehabilitation. So who knows, it might be that as soon as he goes to walk out the door, they might put a bag over his head and bundle him into a car and take him. I think he's going to have to answer to them, but we shall see. Watch this space for that, I'm afraid. Yeah, thank you, Gypsy. The Jose Roman, I can't find anything. Summer was put with Rose or Tucker. You see, I will say this situation with Don turning around right at the beginning and saying she will not be found. I find that incredibly concerning that he said that. That is probably the most telling statement from this entire case. I will say that. Have you heard any details about the alleged party on the hill? I do have some details on that little Beech, which I said if people send, thank you so much, Addy. If people send an email to me and put in the subject field party on the hill, I will let you know what I know or what I've been told. I'll say let you know. What can anybody know anything in this case? Wonder why Don's sisters didn't help with the kids. That is a difficult one. If and I don't say it, ultimately something happened between Don and his sisters, and that needs to be tackled. But if you look at it separately from the Summer Wells case, you've got to think that these people didn't know or claim to not know that Summer existed. And it's hard. If you're, I just don't know. I don't want to upset people, so I'm not gonna go too much into that. Huge red flag when Donwell said they have never found a trace of her either, referring to Rose Blood, and that's it. Yeah, very, very telling. To turn around and say so adamantly that you're not going to find her is a scary thing to say. It's a scary thing to say. And some of the references that Don makes as well, when he talks about Summer being in a dungeon and things like this, it's like, I am going to touch on some other stuff because Don makes a lot of references to Mexico. He makes references to the cartels and things like that. And there's some really scary stuff with this. If you don't know much about these cartels and the way they operate, it's really, really scary. It is really, really scary. These guys who are part of these cartels, some of the stuff that they will do is horrendous. They are so desensitized to death, to pain and hurting people that they do not care. They will kill children. They will do whatever needs to be done to get back at people. They will not think twice about it. There was a guy who he had basically found himself in one of these camps. It's like a farm, and what they do, they pull people in off the street. They would actually kidnap them from the street, and they would send money. They would get them to basically tell the family that they needed to send them money to get them back, and he would get the money, and eventually they would turn around and say, you're not going back. The only way you're going to pay this debt off is if you work for us. And this is how a lot of these Mexican cartels actually get the people who work for them. They actually beat them and beat them and beat them and tell them that the only way that they're going to stay alive is to work for them. But this guy who was talking about his time spent in this place, he was saying some of the stuff they were doing. They were like cutting people up and using the arms of people. They'd just cut an arm off someone to hit each other and messing about with them. That's how desensitized they was. So, it's scary stuff. And, if you don't know about it, it's hard. Like someone's just said about cremations. Could Summer have been cremated? To be fair, I will say this, like everybody's looking at David Dotson and saying, could Summer have been cremated through David Dotson? Is that a possibility? I think that it's possible, but it's not probable. There's a lot more that goes into it. But what I will say is if there is connections with drug cartels and things like that, which there very well could be, That's probably 50-50 if you're going to say who could have been the person or people to do a cremation. 50% Dobbs, 50% Dotson, 50% a cartel. They have things called the kill kitchens in these cartels, and they actually do that. The cartel kill kitchens, and they will do that. Anyone know his email address? It's not on the channel page. My email is in the description of every single video that I upload. So, what do we got? Question for Harsh and chat. Do you think Summer could tell someone her name if found? I actually have a video that has Summer talking on it. I can't remember what it's called. I think the thumbnail says Hear Summer's Voice, something like that. So Summer could speak. Summer could definitely speak. She had a voice, and I believe that if she was found, someone could potentially say, yes, I'm Summer. My eyes are on Candace, Don, Grandis, and Andy. There is, I think that is right. Don, Grandis, and Andy. I think definitely you've got to be thinking that these guys are the ones who are in the hot seat now. There was a period of time where I looked elsewhere as well, because remember when we was all looking at the footprints, Michelle After Dark, Michelle Walks, she had said about the footprints that she'd done a big map thing and had them lead, and they were leading directly to David Britt's house. Well, not being funny, but if you've got a young child, the last person you want that to be heading towards is likely going to be David Britt. Let's not forget David Britt. He is a neighbour to these. He is a friend to Candace. Every time Candace sets up a new social media account, very, very quickly, David Britt is in that account. He's on it. So they are, connected to each other enough to know that she's got a new account, I'll friend it, and she's obviously accepting his friendship request. And he himself has a missing daughter, Autumn McClure. So there we go. I'm pretty sure he's either the father or the uncle, but Autumn McClure is his relative who went missing in her teens in Florida a few years ago, and that is now a cold case. So you've got, in the close vicinity, you've got Autumn McClure, Rose and Summer all gone. Vanished. What do we got? I think Jodie Sue is just making up crap now, but some things could be true. Yeah, I think that's with anybody you speak to in this case. I think there's weaves of truth in there. They're just embellishing things. Where's his daughter missing from? Florida. If you're talking about David Britt, that was Autumn McClure in Florida. She went missing from outside a shopping mall. She was shopping with friends and she vanished. It was actually listed as an endangered runaway, which most of them do, but there we go. What do we got? Everyone be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah, thumbs up. Go and hit the thumbs up. Pretend it's Jodie Sue's eyeball and don't poke it loads of times. Just once. What do we got? Has anyone seen the video where a woman is claiming that the child isn't Summer and that Little Monkey Vaughn is connected to? Yes, those people are called mental cases. There are channels out like no disrespect. I'm gonna talk about this, right? Like, I will get sent pictures. Now, I'm not saying that when someone sends me a picture and they've scribbled all over it and put pictures and boxes and arrows, that the things that they're saying are there aren't there. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, I can't see it. I haven't got the foggiest idea what you're talking about. And it won't even, some of these, bless you, I won't even have like a write-up saying, look where the blue arrow is, or where the round circle is, and this is what is there. It's just like they'll just be like, as if I'm going to look and go, fucking hell. Jesus. That's there. No, don't happen. And I just look at it and think, what is going on? Has someone let their child scribble all over a photo and they've just sent me it as like, like when people send in pictures to like their fan, this is me and mummy, like stick on the wall. Like in my background, there'll be loads of photos from different crimes and there'll be boxes and arrows over them because I'll think they're people. These are the same people who get a piece of toast out and see Jesus in the toast. Right, what do we got? Zara, thank you. It was missing and ran away one time. Those boxes looked nothing alike. I didn't want to say it first, but there's some screws loose. I know. Yeah, they're definitely got far too much time on their hands. Like someone was saying, look, if you look, there's people coming out of the ground. There's... Couldn't see it. Maybe that's just me. What do we got? Come on, let's get a question. Like I say, if I miss any questions, do not worry. I'm going to go through the chat replay. I will go back through the chat replay and I'll answer some of the questions afterwards. Do you have a video for us on autumn? I have a video that's got information on autumn in it, but I didn't do a specific autumn McClure video. But I'll do one. I touched on how old am I? I am 42 years young. That's how old I am. 42. Yeah, tripping on acid, didn't they just? There was like one of Summer on the Swing, and they were like, look, if you slow that video down and look at it from a distance, you've got to hold it at a 45-degree angle, like that, and if you shut one eye and hold your hand over the other eye, you'll see it. Do I think reward funds are worth the hassle or a hindrance to cases? Now, Eve, I don't know whether this fun thing, are you talking about a case in particular? Because I think that there's going to be some information coming out about another reward fund very soon. Because it's not just the Summer Wells case that has got problems. You look much younger. Can I adopt you? You can. I'm cheap. I think if they are set up correctly, then they're good. But they go back, don't they? It's like the old reward. Back in like the Wild West with a reward sticker, wanted dead or alive. I think that should just stay like that. If you bring someone's head who's done it, we'll give you this much money. Harsh, you could be my son. Is that an offer? I'm 41 years young. They also said, look at the kid hanging from some ceiling. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. You said Brit is bad news. So does he have it? David Britt, Philip, has Jesus. He doesn't have Jesus. I'll just knock some. David Britt has a big history of crime. Now, we have also spoken to a family member of his, and he's not a nice guy. He's not a nice guy at all. Not a very nice guy at all. What's your personal opinion regarding Ronnie Lawson? I feel strongly that he's protecting someone or more. I think the reality is that if there is going to be corruption in law enforcement, it is most likely going to be in a place that's in the back end of nowhere. And I think if there's an opportunity for it to happen and benefit people, then it's going to happen. Now, is it Ronnie Lawson directly, or is Ronnie Lawson of a mindset that he's going to be aware that there could be several people who work for him on the take, and would that then reflect on him and affect his ability to get back into the role? Let's not forget that he has been in power in this role for a long, long time. If he starts to look like he can't do the job, then it's going to affect it. So I don't know whether he's personally on the take. He could be, but I would imagine that there are definitely law enforcement members around him who are. I just don't think Ronnie can handle it. I just don't think he's got the stones for it. He's not ever had to have a case like this. This is the same guy who claimed that there was not a drug issue around there. There you go. Bribed in on the trafficking or has been threatened. He could be threatened. That could be it. It could be threatened. You don't know how these things have gone. But one thing I do know is that anybody else would be more useful than him. Do you think Dudley is credible? I don't see why he wouldn't be. Dudley, I don't see. Like, Dudley has turned around and said that, look, he saw Don in the situation that he was in. He was very upset, and this was the night before. And now we've had Jackie Dobbs come and say exactly the same thing. So that proves that that conversation is right. Do you know what I mean? That's a given. I can't see Jackie Dobbs and Dudley saying the same lie. I don't see the. I don't consider Jackie Dobbs a liar, if I'm honest. I don't see that he's dishonest. I haven't seen any signs of him being dishonest. He's just an old guy who I think got caught up in a situation with a bunch of dickheads around him, and that's it. JSB searching for Summer on the 14th. JSB searching for Summer before someone was missing is always going to be a question. So I see a few people saying about their animals, cats watching me. Animals, I'm telling you, I'm like Dr. Dolittle. I'm like a dog magnet. For some reason, dogs specifically tend to gravitate to me. Like if I'm walking and we go around the woods and stuff like that, it's like I say, Dr. Dolittle, I'll turn around, there'll be 5 or 6 dogs. They ain't even mine. Not even mine. And they've just followed me. And I went round to a friend's house and they'd just got this, what was it? A Shih Tzu. And this Shih Tzu was from a rescue home. And it was sitting on my friend's missus' lap. And she turned around, she said, look, don't go near him because he was beaten by men. So he's very, very scared of guys. And he just don't like men. Don't worry. Anyway, 2 minutes later, this Shih Tzu has jumped off her lap, jumped up onto my lap, and is sitting there, and I'm stroking it like that. Like Dr. Evil with that cat. And she's come over when it's time to go to get the dog, and the dog's bit her. True story. What do we got? I seem to attract mosquitoes. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do attract them as well. There's been a pet here, my claim of fame, canine colonic. JSB got some bullshit. Yes, definitely. I'm very concerned about JSB and her family, how she allows her daughter to hear these things. I know, that's weird. I didn't really because I don't take a lot of notice of anything else around her, because I've got to literally concentrate on her lips, and it's like, what is she saying? It weren't until someone pointed that out that I realised, yeah, in a lot of them things, her young daughter is beside her talking about, listening to her spout this shit. It's insane. Insane. Show, what do we got? What do we got? Did you know we've been going for an hour? I'll give you 10 more minutes, and I will do more. I will do more of these. This is really just to set up and see where we are. So 10 more minutes. So let's have 10 more minutes. Questions. Does DB live on Beech Creek? I'm not sure if he actually lives on Beech Creek. I think he lives near it. I'm not sure. But James Brenner has officially named as suspect in Dylan Rounds. There we go. There we go. There we go. Do I think Pandrew and the crew are involved? I don't think Pandrew is. I think that they came down to buy Candace's house. I think that fell through, and potentially there was something else in the background. But I'm going to come back to that on another live, as I want to look more into that trip. But yeah, there you go. With it, I nearly smashed that. The Dylan Rounds case. There we go. So Brenner has been named suspect. I think that I knew that was coming. I must admit, I knew that was coming. Thank you very much, Vicky. I put like moisturiser and stuff on. Little Norfolk Terrier National ran away from home for the first time in his life. Fortunately, a girl found him and phoned me. That's awesome. Mr. Dobbs seemed to be interested. Yeah, as I said earlier, Mr. Dobbs, he is. We've spoken, and there is a chance that he will come on here. And but I'm going to do it a little different. I'm not into getting people up on here and pushing them in front of everyone. I would probably have a chat with him behind the scenes, ask him some questions that I want to know, that I think you guys would want to know. If it was pre-arranged, I could ask you guys what you want to know, and I would ask him, and I would relay that information to you, and he could obviously go into the video and just confirm that what has been said is right. But I don't want to push the old guy in front of everyone. I just think it's unfair, and I just don't see the point in it. I can ask him questions and I'll tell you the truth. And there we go. Thank you for always reading your comments. Must be like a part-time job. I spend around 10 hours a day on YouTube. For those of you who have commented and I haven't commented back, it's purely because I just don't have time. I run out of time. How tall are you? The kitten is not a rescue. The kitten is a Persian, I think. Is it a Persian? It's like got a grey and white face. I am 6'2". I am 6'2", 245 pounds. And I will say, it's not that we didn't want to get a rescue. I would love to have a rescue, but they make it so hard to get rescue animals. They don't like you to have children. They don't like you to have... Your garden has to be enclosed as well. And our main house is a 62-acre plot, and it's not cordoned off. There's trees around there, the boundary, but it would get out. 5 more minutes, and we will wrap up. What do we got? Let's go. What do we got? Final questions. What is your favourite colour and favourite ice cream? Favourite colour is black. Favourite ice cream is chocolate. Mint chocolate. Mint choc chip. No. What we got? If JSB is being truthful about her experience at 11, looking into that situation, all parties involved could be unwarned. There was scary here. Are you safe where you are? Because there is so much I want and need to say around here. I'm always safe. That'd have to be some sort of nutcase to say anything to me. I know you're busy and getting inundated with info. That video I sent might answer or at least help to put things in perspective. I hope you can get to it. I will do. If it's there and you sent me it, I will definitely get through to it. Do not worry. It's just some just take a little bit of time, but I do try and get to everyone. The only thing I do not do, guys, and I will just say this before I love you all and leave you, is this: when you comment, just make sure that when you're putting your full stops and things in, that they don't make it look like you're trying to put a link in, because YouTube will automatically put it for review, and I don't go through the held for review folder unless there's a reason that I have to go through there, because someone said that they didn't delete a message, Lana Westbrook. Then I won't go into them, because I will just thank you so much, Pointer Lover. Yeah, I don't. So if you misspell or you miss where your full stop is, or you try and send me a link to something, it will not come through to me. I won't get it. You'll think that it has, but I don't get it. But that is everything. I think I've kept you all long enough, and if I keep on talking, we'll be here for 4 hours, and I'll be in another someone else's video saying Harsh went on for 4 hours and didn't shut up. So we shall call it a night. Thank you ever so much for joining us on this first live. I am hoping to do these as a weekly thing, and that's why I want to keep it short, sharp, punchy, and we can have this, where we go backwards and forwards and actually bring you guys into the live, and not where you're watching me, talk to someone else and ignoring you. So there we go. Short, simple. Take care, everyone. Have a fantastic evening, and I shall catch you all tomorrow. Thank you.